Hello, outdoor people. Let's take a closer look at the Nitecore HC60 version 2.
The following presentation has been made possible by Nitecore UK, sending me this light for review. If you like what you see, you can head over to their website at nitecore.co.uk.
Alright, let's have a quick look at the box as part of a very quick indoor session. So the light arrives very well packaged. It's a nice box, lots of information. I can see we've got the 1200 lumens screaming out at us. This is going to be quite a high output light. Turning onto the side, what have we got here? We've got the 1200 lumens again. We've got 130 meter beam distance. We've got the intensity of the beam, which shows how concentrated it is. We've got a relatively low intensity of just over 4000 candela, and what that's telling me is we have a high output of lumens and a relatively low concentration of beam intensity, which means that this light is going to be quite spread out. It's going to be quite a floody beam, and we'll soon find out. We've got an impact resistance of 1 meter. This light is a metal bodied light. I would fully expect it to withstand being dropped. You particularly need that in an outdoor headlamp, so this is very welcome. And here we have an IP rating of 7. If you're not sure what an IP rating is, you can Google that quite easily, and it just shows you how waterproof and dustproof the light is. Now IP7 means that this light is completely dunkable. It's submersible to 1 meter. Now for an outdoor light, that is absolutely fantastic. If you imagine wind-driven rain in the mountains, this light should certainly cope with that. On the other side of the box, we have an image of the beam pattern. You can see we've got that 100-degree beam pattern here. We'll do a few beam shots ourselves just to see what that looks like. And here there is a picture showing the USB-C charging port, and again we will look at that too. The headband, it mentions about the headband. We've got the optimized headband. Having had a look at that, I think there'll be a little bit of rubber inside the band to stop it from slipping around if it's mounted on a helmet, so to speak. And on the rear of the box, there's a load more information. I'm not going to go through all this, but if you want to take a still shot, pause the video, zoom in and read this. There's a lot of information on the back of the box. Overall, a very well packaged light with lots of information on the box. Let's see what's inside the box. Okay, so in the box we have the light itself. We'll be taking that outdoors for a very good play. We'll put that just to one side. We've got a Nitecore 3400 milliamp hour battery, very high capacity battery. 18650 batteries are, in my opinion, the way forward for outdoor lights. They just have an incredible amount of energy density, far more than AAA batteries that you find in cheaper headlamps, and they just last a very long time. You can have an immense amount of power output, or you can have this thing lasting for days and days should you need it to. You get the USB-C charge cable as well, which is very nice, and the obligatory instruction manual as well.
The HC60V2 appears to be a solid and well-made head torch. The exterior is anodized aluminium and gives an impression of durability. The headband is of good quality and has a nice top strap for additional stability, and I found the light very comfortable to wear. The beam angle is altered by rotating the light in its holder. The friction to rotate the light is quite high, so the beam angle isn't going to change on you when moving the head quickly or engaging in active pursuits such as running. The LED is from Osram, and although I've no direct experience of these LEDs, the output is indeed impressive. Opening one side of the light via the screw cap reveals the 18650 battery, and this can be removed and interchanged with backup 18650 batteries easily, just like any normal 18650 light. Upon installing the battery, the power button will flash to indicate the available charge status, and screwing the cap on the opposite side of the light reveals the USB charging port. To charge the battery, you have the option of leaving it in place and simply connecting to a power source of your choice. The available outputs are 1 lumen for 680 hours, 40 lumens for 26 hours, 250 lumens for 6 hours and 30 minutes, 450 lumens for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and 1200 lumens for 45 minutes, temperature dependent. This light being current regulated, the output will not dim on you over time. The light also has a beacon and strobe mode should these be required. These are hidden away in the user interface and can be got to by double clicking. The light has a memory mode, and a long press on the power button will take you to the previously used level. You can also access ultra low and turbo modes quickly, these being achieved by a single short click for ultra low and a longer than normal press for turbo, going first through memorized output and then boosting to turbo. Following this, I took the HC60V2 out into the local woods at night for some initial beam shot tests. I wanted to demonstrate what the output and beam patterns look like. Although the light gathering ability of my GoPro didn't quite demonstrate the true output, static shots with my DSLR adjusted for white balance to show what I was truly seeing really helped to demonstrate the output and beam pattern of this light. Finally, we'll look at how the light performs in a true outdoor scenario, a wild camp in the English Peak District during the winter months. The moors at this time of year can be stunningly beautiful, but very hostile in poor weather. Navigating at night requires some solid nav skills, plus a good headlamp that can light the way safely, and also keep performing in difficult conditions. In order to get to my planned camp, I chose to navigate along the Pennine Way through some quite featureless terrain in wet conditions, and without doubt the headlamp would be thoroughly tested. Then, I wanted to learn how useful the HC60 would be for the next task, pitching a tent in the dark. Sounds okay, but trust me, if you've got the wrong light for the job, it makes it 10 times harder. Either not enough light, or a pencil-thin beam that doesn't show you the whole picture will only add to the complexity. And the last task, when the tent's up, What is the light like to live with in tent and around camp? We'll find out. Okay, I've got the tent pitched, I'm inside and I'm all warm and dry, always good. So my final verdict on the HC60V2. I really enjoyed using this headlamp. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. General performance, the light worked really well coming up the Pennine Way. I had no issues at all with looking at where I was putting my feet, looking out for issues, rocks in the way, streams, that kind of thing. No trouble at all in seeing where I was going, and no difficulties with navigation. So the beam profile is fantastic, 100-degree beam, really useful in a headlamp. It just lights up everything in your peripheral vision and you can generally see everything that's going on. The outputs, I'm using the light at the moment. I've just got it switched on to the 1 lumen mode. Extremely useful in the middle of the night if you wake up and you don't want to disturb your partner. You can quite easily just get a bit of light to see what you're doing without waking them up, so it's very useful. The next output is 40 lumen, and the 40 lumen setting I found was really useful for around camp and general around camp duties. So putting in tent pegs, making sure my guy lines were tight, cooking my my dinner in the tent, and just general camp duties. The 250 lumen output was is the recommended level of light that I would use for hill walking. The light shines incredibly well, incredibly bright, and that 100-degree beam just lights up everything in front of you.
Really useful for hill walking is that 250 lumen setting. The next setting up was the 450 lumen, and I didn't use this really too much because it's only a little bit more light than the 250, and I didn't want to cause unnecessary power drain on the battery, so I left the 450 alone generally. The 1200 lumen, from time to time I would occasionally light up the hillside just for a bit of fun, and that 1200 lumen is just astonishing, just lights absolutely everything up in front of you. Just really cool, actually, really enjoyable, really good. So the user interface is extremely easy. It's just a one touch on the button on the front, and even with winter gloves on I could use the light without any issues. It's a big thing with winter mountaineering and walking. You need to be able to turn the light on with gloves, no problem. I could operate the UI just very easily, single click. You just click through the modes. I won't do it now because I'll blind the camera. You just click up through the modes, and then you've got the SOS and blinky modes as well, if you require those by doing a double tap. The waterproof rating, extremely happy with this. You know, the IP rating is exactly what is needed in an outdoor headlamp. It started raining coming up the Pennine Way. I wasn't in the slightest bit phased, didn't care that the light got wet. I wouldn't even be bothered if the light was dropped accidentally into a stream. It's built for that. It's completely waterproof and dunkable, so have no fear there if you're an outdoorsman and you need to you get this thing wet. So the battery type, 18650 battery. A lot of power density in the 18650. I do like those for hill walking lights because there's a lot of power density there. You can have the light last for a really long time, or you can choose to light everything up with quite a high current output, and the battery will still last a reasonable amount of time. Well, that's it from me. I'm going to have my dinner and get my head down now. The weather's coming a little bit. Not very nice out there. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
To sum up, the Nitecore HC60V2 is a solid, very capable headlamp for outdoor use. I liked it very much, and if you're looking for a powerful light with a great beam pattern, this light will certainly serve you well. A good headlamp means that during the winter months and hours of darkness, you don't have to stop doing what you love. This light certainly keeps the activities going. Thanks for checking in with me. If you have any questions about the light, please drop me a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.